Greeting to all the students. Welcome to Global Online. As you all are aware that we have started our complete rapid revision series for your paper 1, especially for your upcoming examination. And in this series today, the unit which we are going to take is Information and Communication Technology, which is like a crash course. So this in 1 hour's time, it will be easier for you to go through all the important topics and cover the unit. Before we proceed, let's understand what does Global Online has, apart from this, what does Global Online has to offer you all. So we have a quick revision PDF, which is for paper 1. This PDF consists of 2000 plus MCQs, updated MCQs, current affairs, short notes, previous year question papers, and most repeated questions. All this is available at a package of rupees 699. You can get in touch with us on these given WhatsApp number in order to avail your PDF copy. At the same time, we also have a Global Online app. You can download this app with the help of Google Play Store. Once you download the app, this is how the interface of the app looks like. You also have a revision crash course over here for paper 1. In this revision crash course, you will be seeing, daily live lectures which are scheduled in Hindi and English, recorded video lectures on all the units, 60 plus mock tests, full syllabus test, 2000 plus MCQs, as well as this all is available for your June 2023 examination in the form of revision crash course. So once you go on app, this is how you will be seeing the syllabus wise folders, and every folder consists of videos, consists of test, consists of video full mock test also, which will help you to give a proper practice. In case of any doubt query regarding the same, you can get in touch with us on these given WhatsApp number. So yes, without any delay, let's start with the important revision topics revision for ICT, that is Information and Communication Technology. So very first topic which we are going to see is protocols. Now yes, based on these protocols, you definitely have certain questions. So under protocols, let's first try to understand what are the major types of protocols. So these types are listed, but definitely you do not have questions on every one of them. But there are specific protocols like Internet Protocol, SMTP, you have FTP, you have HTTP and HTTPS. These questions are very common. So we will just have a look at all these protocols. So first of all, I've given you the names of the protocols. I've given you the acronym also. So in case if the acronym comes, you can also identify the type of protocol. So TP stands for Transmission Control Protocol. We have Internet Protocol. We have user diagram protocol. Sorry, datagram protocol, post office protocol, simple mail transport protocol, file transfer protocol, hypertext transfer protocol, and hypertext transfer protocol secure. Telnet and Gopher. Now, on these two topics, there are no questions seen, but just at least have an idea. So let's see what is, first of all, what is TPC, that is Transmission Protocol, Control Protocol, and Internet Protocol. They are the backbone of Internet. Every system contains a copy of TCP and IP programs. So what does this TCP does? So that is Transmission Control Protocol. What exactly is its role or function? So it breaks data into packet, assembling of packets, reassemble in the proper order, and detect error or loss of data. So keep these points in mind. In case of your statement questions or assertion reason questions, you can get this. And what does IP does? The IP handles the address part of each packet to reach at the right destination. So TCP, that is Transmission Protocol, as well as IP, we have a specific functions related to both of them. Now moving ahead, let's quickly have a look of each of the protocols. So TCP, as I said, it is a popular communication protocol which is used for communicating over a network. It divides the message into various series of packets that are sent from the source to destination, and it gets reassembled at the destination. And that's what we have learned here under its function. It breaks the data. So if it is difficult for you to recall, so it's simply break the data, it assembles the data, it reassembles the data, and detect error or loss of data, if any. That's what is the function of TCP. Internet Protocol is an IP designed explicitly using addressing protocol, which is mostly used by TCP. So IP addresses in the packets helps them in routing to the destination. So it helps the I mean to say this, the function of this protocol is to ensure that the destination is reached. And this is the most popular protocol in connecting the various networks. User datagram protocol, it is a substitute of communication protocol, uh, which has, primarily creating loss tolerating or loss latency linking between different applications. So it is linkage. Post office protocol, it is designed for receiving incoming emails. Okay, that is POP3. That is also, you can get a question. Yes, there was question in a very old question paper based on this topic. Then we have simple mail transfer protocol. It is designed to send, or distribute outgoing email. So POP is for incoming and SMTP is for outgoing. Then we have file transfer protocol, that is FTP. Now, basically this FTP, it indicates what? It indicates the transfer of files from one machine to another. So it can use any types of files, either program files, multimedia files, text files, or documents, etc. Hyper transfer text protocol. So this HTTP, so basically this is designed in order to create, various links in the form of text or images. And this is the server acknowledges the request which is initiated by the client, by the client, which responds accordingly. That is hypertext transfer protocol. And secure protocol, it is a standard protocol to secure the communication between two computers. So this is playing the role of what? Securing the information, or you can say the data. So yes, you should have an idea about these protocols. Definitely, there are some questions based on protocols. Okay. The second important topic on this particular unit is ICT. So yes, there is definitely one question on memory. So let's have a look at this in detail. So memory, which are divided into two types of, that is primary and secondary memory. Primary memory consisting of RAM and ROM, whereas secondary memory consisting of hard disks, floppy disks, CD-ROMs, or DVDs. Here sometimes, you get the highest to lowest. Like for example, even the form of the storage, or in the form of arranging them in the ascending or descending order. So you have various types of questions. So you need to be very careful in reading the question, what exactly is the question asking you about. So let's understand them in detail. So when we are talking about types of memory, so memory, as I said, that is primary memory. Primary memory is also called as main memory or semiconductor memory, whereas secondary memory is known as auxiliary or optical memory, and processes internal memory, that is in the form of cache and register memory. So let's have a look at them very well. So here, first of all, I have arranged them in order. So this tells that is from small, faster, access time, and expensive. It is small in memory size, faster with the access time, and expensive. So that is, it goes from, that is, if you can see the screen very well, magnetic tape to magnetic disk. Then we have main memory, then we have cache memory, then we have register. Coming with the larger capacity and low cost, that is, in the reverse position. So yes, this type of questions are seen very common, especially arranging them in the ascending or descending sequence. Then we have little bit, let's have them in detail. Let's understand them in detail. So secondary memory, as I said, it is also called as auxiliary memory. Magnetic tapes and disks in the form of what? Auxiliary memory. Primary memory, that is main memory, cache memory, and register memory. Now here, let's have in detail understanding about register memory. So when we talk about register memory, it is the smallest and fastest memory. That's how I gave you an idea. That is, it is smallest and faster with the access time. So yes, it is smallest and fastest memory in the computer. It is not the part of main memory. It is located in the CPU in the form of registers, which are holding the smallest data. Okay. And it holds, this register memory temporarily holds the data instructions which are which are to be used by CPU. That is what is the work of your register memory. Whereas cache memory is one of the fastest, relatively small memory that is stored on the computer hardware, which commonly it's shortened to called as cache. It is one of the fastest memory which, stores temporary data between the processor and data memory. It stores the frequently used data by the CPU. Now, yes, this statement, please keep in mind, even in one of the previous year question, even this statement was a part of the question. So cache memory stores that memory which is frequently used by the CPU and it can be easily accessed. It is one of the most expensive memory and is integrated to the inside the CPU chip. So this also you should be very able to clearly identify. Then let's have a difference between primary memory and your secondary memory. So yes, you can get statement questions, you can get the questions to recognize. So primary, which is used in the temporary form, secondary, which is a permanent memory. Primary memory is directly accessible by the processor, that is CPU. Secondary memory is not directly accessible by CPU. So nature of parts of primary memory varies. That is, RAM volatile in nature and ROM non-volatile. So we are going to do RAM and ROM also. It is always, if you take about secondary memory, it is something which is always non-volatile in nature. It is something which is non-volatile. Then coming to primary memory, the devices used for the primary memory are semiconductor memories. Whereas in secondary memory, it is used in the form of magnetic and optical memories. Now, yes, this is very important that primary, I have even bolded it. Primary memory is something, it's known as main memory or internal memory, whereas secondary memory is known as external or auxiliary memory. Examples are RAM, ROM, cache memory, PROM, EPROM, and registers. And secondary memory is the form of, floppy or hard disks and magnetic tapes, etc. So please remember here, you can get statements format question also. You can get assertion reasoning question also. You can get in the form of features also. So you should be able to answer these questions very well. And yes, questions on memory are definitely going to be a part of your paper. So now let's have a difference between volatile and non-volatile memory also. So the computer memory, now which memory is called as volatile memory? The memory that requires the constant power to maintain the stored information. The moment the power is off, the memory, it's of no use. So here you have a constant power requirement, whereas in non-volatile memory, no constant power is required. Even after the loss of power, the memory is, the content is, the memory is in existence. Volatile memory, it requires a consistent flow in order to retain the data. So this power is required for what? So it is just a connection. Why do we require power? For a retention of data. And in here, in order to retain the data in non-volatile memory, it is not required. Now we are talking about what? Volatile memory. So volatile memory, it affects the system performance in absence of power. Whereas non-volatile memory, not an absence of power, but it can affect the storage. Okay. Volatile memory is something which holds a temporary data, whereas non-volatile memory holds a permanent data. Volatile memory is much more faster. Non-volatile memory is much more slower. Volatile memory refers to primary storage, whereas non-volatile refers to secondary storage. Volatile memory, your example is RAM, whereas non-volatile memory, we have SSD, that is solid state drive, we have ROM or floppy memory. So yes, differences again for statement questions, you should be able to recognize them very well. Now we have next is register and cache memory. So I've given the difference between main memory, that is, and cache memory. So if you see, okay, let's have a look at this diagrammatic position. So this is how your CPU is. So your CPU, that is cache memory. So cache memory is closest to CPU, and RAM, that is static RAM and dynamic RAM, and cache memory is much more faster. So let's say in the form of comparison also. So when we talk about cache memory is used to store frequently accessed data. So when we talk about cache memory, it is something which is used to store frequently accessed data in order to quickly access the data whenever it is required. I'll repeat it once again. It is used to store frequently accessed data. That is with the help of CPU, which is frequently required. It is used in order to access the data whenever it is needed. Main memory is also known as random access memory. So it is a memory that directly interacts with the CPU, that is central processing unit. So if you see, that's the reason I brought the diagrammatic presentation. Main memory RAM is much more faster compared to cache memory. So the speed is comparatively so in main memory, whereas in cache memory, it is comparatively fast. Capacity of the main memory is larger. Capacity of the cache memory is comparatively lesser. Okay. So yes, this also it will help you to understand the diagrammatic presentation. It help you to answer the question, and it will help you to diagrammatically understand and remember also how the memory is, which memory is nearby, which is faster, which is closer. Then, so as I said, CPU, so cache, which is very fastest, okay, that is in level form 1, level form 2, level form 3. So this levels, if the levels are higher, it tends to be little slower. And then comes your main memory, that is in the form of your main memory, that is in the form of RAM, which is far away from the CPU. So obviously it will take slow time to come. Okay. Now let's have a difference between static RAM and dynamic RAM. So static RAM is used to store a single bit of data, whereas dynamic RAM is used, a separate capacitor to store each bit of data. Static RAM is, there is no need of periodic refreshment, but yes, in dynamic RAM, it requires a periodic refreshments. Static RAM structure is complex, whereas in dynamic RAM, the structure is simpler. Static RAM are expensive compared to dynamic RAM, and dynamic RAMs are less expensive. So here it is very simple that static RAMs are expensive, dynamic are less expensive. Static RAMs are faster, whereas dynamic RAMs are slower. Static RAMs which are used in cache memory and dynamic RAMs which are used in main memory. See, this is the reason I have brought these diagrams, so you understand that cache memory which is nearby to CPU, which is fastest, RAM which is far away, which is slowest. Cache memory, we use static RAM, whereas in RAM, that is main memory, we use dynamic RAM. So these points you have to keep in mind very well, and diagrammatic presentation will help you to recall the points very well. Okay. Now, let's also have the difference between your programmable ROM, E-programmable or EF programmable. So let's see what exactly it stands for. So when we talk about PROM, it stands for programmable read-only memory, whereas EP stands for erasable programmable read-only memory, and EFP stands for electrically erasable. Sorry, it's EE. Yes, EEPROM. It stands for electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So only programmable read-only memory was modified. It can be modified only by a user, whereas erasable programmable, it can be erased and reused, and electrically erasable programmable, it can be done through the electric voltage. You have the development. PROM was developed by Wen Chao, that is in the year 1956. Then we have erasable that was developed by Do in the year 1971. And then we had electrical erasable, which was developed by George in 1978. So reprogrammable can be possible only once. Here it can be possible with the help of ultraviolet light, and erasable electrical programmable, that can be possible with the help of electrical charge. So again, this point is also important. Keep in mind very well. And then we had difference between RAM and ROM. So RAM, which stands for read-write memory, whereas ROM stands for only read-only memory. RAM it stores less data when the power is turned off, whereas here ROM retains the data even in the case of it is switched off, the power is switched off. RAM is costlier. RAM is costlier. ROM is comparatively cheaper. When we talk about RAM, it holds large amount of data compared to ROM. So what does ROM do? It holds only a small amount of data. RAM is much more faster, whereas ROM, you can see it is much more slower. RAM data can be modified easily, whereas ROM data can be hardly or never modified. Yes. The next important topic is your search engines. Now, I have listed some in India. So here also many a times match the following comes, or they give you code. They give you statement questions like, and you have to identify either in the form of odd man out search engine. So these are all the search engines. You can have a look of this, make a note of this. It will be easier. And then we have, difference between browser and search engine. So when we talk about browser, a browser is a piece of software that retrieves the data. A browser is nothing but a piece of software that retrieves and displays web pages. Whereas search engine is a website that helps people to find web pages from websites. So please make a clear difference. Browser is a software application in assessing the information with the help of World Wide Web. Whereas search engine is a software which is designed to search information on. One is assessing the information, one is searching the information. Browser allows accessing and displaying the websites, whereas search engine allows searching and filtering the websites. Search browser locally installed on the user's device, whereas search engine, a software system that runs on WWW, that is World Wide Web. So examples I've given browsers. What are the examples? Explorer, Chrome, Firefox. And whereas in search engine, Yahoo, Google, Bing, these are all the examples of what? They are the examples of search engine. The next topic, important topic we have is computer languages. We have low languages and high level languages. Under low, we have machine and assembly language, whereas high level languages, we have general and special. So in general, we have compiler and interpreter. So again, compiler, which is Algo, Fortran, COBOL, or interpreter in the form of BASIC, APL, Pascal. So let's see how the difference is. So high-level language we are talking about, only humans can understand. So high-level language is something which is used in computers, which can be only understood by the humans. Low-level language, which is only understood by the machines. And interpreters are the translators which can translate high-level language into low-level or vice versa. So machine language which can be understood by the humans, and human language which can be understood by the people. So here high-level and low-level language gets, gets understood with the help of interpreter. Now, let's see the difference between compiler and interpreter. So compiler, basically a compiler translates the compiler source program in a single line by line. Whereas interpreter, in a single line, that is in a single form. Whereas interpreter translates in the form of line by line translation. Compiler, which is faster, it's consume less time and it's more efficient, and they're larger in size. Whereas interpreter, as they go line by line, they are slower. They require more, more time. They are less efficient and they are smaller compared to compiler. So compilers are faster, it indicates that less time and efficiency is more. Whereas interpreter, they are slower, it consumes higher time, and yes, their efficiency level is also less. Okay. Then we have a concept called as multi-processing and multi-programming. Yes, this concept was also in the form of previous year question. So I've taken this concept. So multi-processing, it means processing at multiple, multiply at the same time. That is by CPU. Whereas programming, it means, several programs at the same time are executed utilizing CPU. So it uses multiple CPU, whereas multi-programming uses single CPU. See, multi-processing, no? So obviously it indicates what? A use of multiple CPUs. Whereas multi-programming, it uses only single CPU. Multi-processing, it permits parallel processing, multi. So it's something which indicates parallel processing. And multi-programming, which indicates what? Context switching takes place. Multi-programming, less time taken to process the jobs, whereas multi-programming, more time is taken to process the job. Multi-processing, it facilitates much efficient utilization of devices, whereas multi-programming, it's less efficiency. So the efficiency you can see in multi-processing compared to multi-programming. So usually it is more expensive. That is your multi-processing, whereas multi-programming is less expensive. Okay. Coming to next is common threats in the internet in the form of virus and worms. So virus is attached, with the executable files, whereas worms are nothing but a malicious functions program which can spread to the computer via network. Virus is human action is needed to execute. That is because it is executable files, whereas worms, no action is required, human action. Virus are slower, but if you see worms are much more faster. Host in the case of virus, it requires human action. It means host is needed for spreading the same, whereas in worms it doesn't need a host. It doesn't need a host to replicate from one computer to another. So virus is antivirus formatting you can do in order to remove that, whereas in worms you have to you remove it with the help of tool. Antivirus software is used to protect the system, whereas in worms you have antivirus or firewall. Consequences, yes, in case of viruses, it can corrupt and erase the file, whereas it can consume the entire system and slows down the system, which can definitely bring a system to a halt. Now, in the examination of previous year question papers, we have seen certain important terms which we will discuss here today. So spam, which is available in the junk folder. That is junk folder you can call, where 50% of the emails are found. Yes. Now, however, many can contain malware, that is a malicious software, which the software written with the internet to damage. The software with this software is basically written with an intention to damage or to exploit the system. So one have to be careful about this. Adware is nothing but a malware software that displays unwanted ads. So definitely it is basically to ensure that, it is advertising purpose, but at the same time, you clicking on this can capture your data. So your data can get captured with the help of these functions. Trojan, it leaves the computer completely unprotected when, which can mean that the hacker can steal anything from your system. So Trojan often presents themselves as harmless computer programs, but they can, so the hackers can penetrate your computer without being detected. So they are, they seems to be harmless just to ensure that the actions cannot be interrupted. Virus full form is vital information resource under siege. So right now we have seen that it is one of the most internet talk threat, which definitely affects the system with the help of attachments. Then we have worms. We have studied about worms also. So this is, basically an malicious attachment which can slow down the computer and which can affect the system. Phishing, that is the simplest form. It's a fraudulent activity. More than often not, officials looking emails are sent by a well-known provider, that is in the form of reputed organizations. And the emails are sent to acquire the passwords, that is credentials, personal credentials are acquired. Then we have spyware, that is another type of malware. It is definitely attached with the pop-ups of downloadable files. Once you install this, definitely your files will be deleted, or it is reformatted. It can reformat. Whoever is controlling the spyware has an access to your personal details. Keyloggers, now I've taken this concept of keyloggers also. They're similar to spyware. They record a user's keyboard action. Most keyloggers will be looking for distinguishable key entries, such as your bank credit card details, or maybe, keylog is basically linked with intellectual property theft. Okay, that is, it refers to robbing the people or companies with their ideas, inventions, and creative expressions. Okay. Then we have next is farming. That is nothing but it indicates complex version of phishing which exploits the system. Yes, it is, it creates pages like, trustworthy businesses in the form of online banking. The moment you log in your details, the details can be stolen. Then we have ROG security software. Basically, it is in the form of, you purchase, if you are ever downloading the virus, you purchase it in the form of legally or authenticate way. But this is, you have to be extra careful, because through this also, a lot of crimes, can be taken place. Then sniffing is the process. Okay. Now sniffing, basically this process is, in which all the data packets passing in the network are monitored. Sniffers can be in the form of hardware or software installed on the system. It is a process which an intruder, sniffing here can be in the form of, as I said, hardware or software installed on the system. Spoofing is the process where an intruder introduces fake traffic and pretends to be someone else. Like, for example, an email is sent from a false sender just to receive or procure your sensitive data. So you have to revise these things once again, because by reading it once or understanding it once, it will not be easier. So you have to have a revision for it very well. Okay. Then coming to next is your, yes. Now let's understand computer network. Let's what exactly you mean by computer network. So set of networks where two or more computers are connected so that they can share the data, they can communicate with each other. So it helps to use the resources, share resources such as printers and scanners. It is very expensive this is a expensive software database. It facilitates communication from one computer to another, and yes, it helps to create the network. Now here, let's see the type of network. Again, a common question. You get a very common question on this, that is various types of network. We have local, metropolitan, and wide network. So local network, where the computer operates in the small area, a geographical area, that is, office, companies, schools, or any other organization. So it exists within a specific area, that is a home network, office network, or school network. We have metropolitan network. Metropolitan area network is basically which is higher than your LAN. So it connects the cable TV network, the telephone, or fire stations, or the branches of a school. Wide area network, which is geographically very high, connecting the towns, cities, or organizations like bank or multinational companies. So here, so local area network, as I said, it is connecting local, I mean to say, it is within a local boundary. Then we have wide area network, as I said, which is geographically extendable. Metropolitan area network, with the help of connection of metros. That is connection of metropolitan organizations or campuses. Then we have CAN, that is campus area network, where we have one campus connected with each other. SAN, that is a specialized high-speed network that provides, block net level network access to storage. And that SANs are typically composed of host switches or storage elements. Basically, they are interconnected with using variety of technologies and protocols. Now, PAN is a personal computer network, which is used to connect the devices such as computers, telephones, tablets. And GAN, that is a global area network, which is connecting the various unlimited geographical areas consisting of transnational or multinational corporation. So yes, you should be knowing about this very well. Now, this table or this diagram basically I have given to understand the speed range and application. So if you get questions based on this, okay, that is speed range in the form of, what is the speed, what is the range, what is the area, kilometers, or, the area range, this will be applicable. Then we have, yes, history of internet and intranet. So when we are talking about internet, which came into late 90s in the creation of ARPANET, that is in the form of Advanced Research Project Agency Network, originally which was funded by US Department of Defense. And yes, it is used ARPANET is used packet switching to allow multiple computers to communicate on a single network. So internet, it connects computers worldwide with the help of, as I said, World Wide Web, or your transmission control protocol, which we did at the start of the class also, or IP address internet protocol, is with the help of cables or such as optical fiber, and it is basically a fastest means to exchange the information. Then we have advantages of internet. The advantages of internet, yes, this is basically a simple understanding. There will be no very much detailed question on this topic, with respect to directions, instant messaging, shopping, online banking, online selling, work from home or entertainment. Then we have intranet, that is in the form of private network, which belongs to a particular organization. It is designed for the use of organization, that is in the form of employees, customers. And yes, this shares information, even the confidential data. It is, it is like a private internet or internal website, which is operating with the help of what? Identified IP address. Now we have benefits of it. Yes, it is, it is easy, cheap to implement. It streamlines the communication. It provides us place to store data. It is used to test various platforms. Okay, it is help to share the real-time data. It helps. It allows the employees to stay connected with the help of mobiles, or it also motivate and facilitates employee and reward them for their performance. Okay, now let's have a difference between, yes, extranet. First, let's understand extranet. Extranet is which is outside the organization, which ensures the security of the information with the help of IDs and passwords. So now let's understand internet, intranet, and extranet. So internet, which creates the connection between the world. Extranet, it's basically beyond or outside the organization, and intranet, which is within the organization. Okay, so you have to keep this in mind. Even, small amount of distinguish is also there. So internet, which is the help of, IP address. Intranet, which is not available to the outside organization. It is something which is inside. Extranet, which is basically partially, accessible to the outsiders as well as, insiders. So internet, a global connection. Intranet, a shared connection within the organization. And extranet, it's across, boundaries. Now, so summary, internet is the shared content. Extranet is basically the cross enterprises, and internet is a global connection, communication platform. Then yes, now 8 supercomputers used by the Educational Institutes of India. Here we have anything can come for you. So color boson, that is used by Tata Institute. HPC, IIT Delhi. Param that is used by IIT Guwahati. Param Kanchenjunga, which is used by Sikkim campus. Param Shivai, that is IIT Banaras Hindu University. Then we have Param Yuva, that is used by CDAC, sorry. Shastrut, which is used by Indian Institute of Science, and Virgo, that is IIT Madras. So yes, this can come as, because these are the 8 supercomputers. So you should know that which educational institutions are using it, which is very, very important for you to remember this information very well. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see now. Yes. So computer generations. Now, yes, there are not much question nowadays, but yes, I have seen some questions based on this. So I have just listed in one form. So generations in the form of first, second, third, fourth, and fifth generation. So here they have given the years also. Hardware components, that is vacuum tubes, translators, integrated circuits, okay, VLC microprocessor. Then you have SI microprocessor circuits. Machine characteristics, okay, that is in first generation machine language, huge size, expensive, and high consumption of electricity. These were the and examples are given, so you should be able to remember them very well. See, this table requires a proper amount of understanding and learning in order to answer them very well. Second generation, that is, in the form of batch processing, multi-programming, or Fortin. Examples are given over here. Third, in the form of remote processing, multiple programming. We did know multiple programming and multiple processing also. Then which computers that also given. Fourth, in the form of real-time networks. Okay, examples are given. Fifth, in the form of, parallel processing, and examples are given with the help of which here. Now, computer input and output devices. So input devices in the form of mouse, keyboard, webcam, touchscreen, joysticks, microphone, optical pen, and in the form of output devices, monitor, speaker, printer, projector, or plotter. So here again, I've given use of everyone. What exactly keyboard is used for, a set of buttons. Numeric keypad, which is electronic keyboard we call. Mouse, which is help to point the cursor and take the cursor to the concerned destination. Touchpad, it is the device in the form of small panel. And yes, what exactly it is used for, that is also given. Recently, there is no question seen, but you should be aware of this very well. Tracker ball. So sometimes you get the question, they will give the devices. You have to list out which is internal and which is input and which is output devices. Then we have a small tracker ball, graphics tablet. Okay, so these are the examples which you should remember. Even joystick, that is a gamepad, light pen, that is like a photosensitivity device, touch screen, which allows to user to connect the computer by touching the screens. Okay, then same thing, I have given the output devices and description also, and the facts. So monitor, it is a device which is definitely used, which we work on. Laser printer helps us to print the quality documents. Inkjet printers, which helps us to print the quality documents with the help of, out on the paper. Then digital projector, which helps to project and connects the computer with the help of screen. Plotter, which special type of printer that gives a high quality of images printing. Speakers, which helps in the sound quality. Headphones, which helps, which are over the years, years, and basically which is, when the speaker speaks or when he delivers information. LED lights are connected to the computer, and they respond to the electrical signals. Okay, so yes, memory I have done with you. Yes, now this table, again, this table, you also get questions, bits, how much byte or how much kilobytes are into megabytes. So this table should be very, very, very clear. Each 1 or 0 is, binary digit. It's called as a bit, and 4 bits is called a nibble, and 8 bits makes a byte. Okay, 1 byte. But you have, nowadays we are getting questions on peta, exa, zeta, iota, and prontobytes, geobytes also. So you should be able to remember this very well. Okay. Storage device. Yes, storage device with capacity I have given. So sometimes you get the question on capacities also. So yes, your generic domain. Now these domains were earlier coming in the form of question, but still you should be able to remember it. So .com. So when I say .com, it is commercial. .org is a non-profit organization. .net, net support group, network support group. .gov, that is government, and edu, that is educational. So you should know these generic domain. It can be a part of your paper also. Okay. Yes. Some important information I have pasted over here. That is, the first private search engine was developed in India in 2021. That is Kumamu. It's basically under Atma Bharat, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-independent India, which was brought by Nitish, a young man from Ahmedabad, and this was launched on 26th of Jan 2021. It can be a part of your search engine question. Okay, again, this I have given you, but still, I have just ensured that this, you remember this, that is your memories very well. Okay,